Alright, there's another video for 1VT and 1HT, and this time it's about exercise 35. This one is kind of a difficult exercise. It says here the height y in meters of the tunnel in this figure is modeled by this formula. So here you can see the tunnel, and the tunnel looks like a parabola. It looks a bit like the shapes that we just drew, right? Like that. And this is the formula that belongs with how high the tunnel is. Now the first question is copy and complete the table. So that's what we're going to do, and then we're going to answer some additional questions about it. Now here I made already a copy of the table, and I'm going to write down the formula above it. It's always a good idea to put the formula above it so you know what the formula was. Now if you fill in the table you don't have to write down the calculations, but I am going to write down a few calculations to show you how this is done. For example, when x is minus 3, the minus 3 will be there. So I do, to calculate y, I do minus 0.5. And here's an important rule, right? If the x is negative, then you have to put it in brackets. I think I said that earlier, so please try to remember that. Minus 3 squared is 9. And then we need to do minus 0.5. Oh, I wrote down a square there, that's completely unnecessary. Minus 3 squared is 9, right? And minus 0.5 times 9 is minus 4.5. And if you add 4.5 to that, you get 0. So here we write down 0. It also makes sense because if you take a look at the height of this tunnel, it starts at 0, right? And then it goes up and then it goes down again. So let's fill in the next number. Let's do that over here to the side. If I fill in minus 2, I also have to put it in brackets. And then plus 4.5. Well, this is minus 2 squared is just 4, right? And minus 0.5 times 4 is minus 2. And if I add 4.5 to that, I get 2.5. So the 2.5 I can fill in over here. On the next one I'll show you with the calculator so you can also see how you can type it in there. So for the minus a half I have to use this minus. So minus 0.5. And then it will look like that. And then in brackets I have to do minus 1. And then squared. And then I need to do that plus 4.5 plus 4.5. Then it says 4. So over here we get 4. Now if you fill in 0 in the formula, then this will be 0. Because 0 squared is just 0. And that times that is also 0. So the answer here will be 4.5. Because of the plus 4.5 there. And then at some point the table will start to repeat itself. I think over here. But let's see if that's correct. Because if you fill in 1 squared, that's just 1. Times minus a half is minus a half. Plus 4.5 is 4. So you see you have the same outcome again. That means we also already know what this is going to be. And we know what that is going to be. That makes sense, right? Because a parabola is symmetrical. Right? You can see here. You already learned about line symmetry. If you fold it over this line, then this half of the tunnel will fit exactly on top of that half. So if this is minus 3, then this will be 3. Right? So that's what you can see in the picture. So this is the table. And as the table is finished, and that's also the end of exercise A. So let's take a look at exercise B. Exercise B says what is the height of the tunnel, and by that they mean the highest point of the tunnel, so that's over here. Well, on this line the x is 0, right? Because here the x is positive. Here it was 3 and then 2 and then 1, so here the x is 0. So if we just check what y is when x is 0, then we know the height of the tunnel. We can see that in this table. Over here x is 0, and there the highest point of the tunnel is 4.5. So for exercise B, I'm going to write down 4.5 meters. Then we're going to go to exercise C. It says how wide is the road? Okay, so the road is this thing. Also, I think they include the sidewalk also, because we don't know how big this sidewalk is. So we're just going to say how big the road is from over here all the way to over there. Well, this was minus 3 and this was 3, so that means that this whole length is 6. So how wide is the road? Oh, that's 6 meters. And then we're going to go to exercise D. It says a 4 meter wide truck just fits underneath the tunnel. What do you know about the height of this truck? So there was a truck, it was 4 meters wide, and it was able to drive through this tunnel. And then we need to know how high the truck could have been. So let me show you something over here. I'm going to make a sketch of this situation. We have the road, right? Well, we already established that the road was 6 meters wide. And then here we have the tunnel, which looks a bit like that. Alright. Now if I were in the truck, I wouldn't drive over here because there's not a whole lot of space. Now if you're in this truck, you would drive in the middle. So this could be the truck, right? Now the question says that the truck is 4 meters wide. Well, in the middle of the tunnel, we have the y-axis, and over here we have the x-axis, right? So if the truck, let me erase this because it's a bit confusing. If the truck is 4 meters wide, that means that this number is 2 and this number is minus 2, right? This is where the truck is. And here we have 3 and here we have minus 3. Those are the ends of the tunnel. So if I fill in 2 in the formula, then I know how high the tunnel is. And then I know the truck should have been less high than that. Now in the table we can already see that at x is 2, the height is 2.5 meters. So let's write that down. At x is 2, the height is 2.5 meters. So that means the truck must have been smaller than that. So the truck is shorter than 2.5 meters. Otherwise it wouldn't fit, because at x is 2, the tunnel is 2.5 meters high. So the truck should have been lower than that. Right? You can also fill in minus 2 in the formula, but filling in 2 is a bit easier. This is the answer for exercise 35. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.